men need their fathers. Like, they really, really need their fathers.
Agreed.
A woman could never. Sorry. We could want to so very bad.
Y'all can do a lot, though.
Oh, no, we do a lot.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still need those talks.
Welcome back, part 2 of our amazing interview with Drea Shannon and Brianna True.
Hello.
Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Jeff Jizzle from Indy,
A lot of names.
Naptown.
I can't keep up.
So before we left, Jeff, you asked the ladies to read you and I, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and let's get into that. I'm interested in this.
Hey, and we read AB, but AB's not here today. Shout out to AB. You still here in spirit, brother.
AB has commitment issues, and he did not want to see us. I'm just kidding.
Incorrect.
I'm just kidding.
We on this
Very
part should not
inaccurate.
solicit
I'm
that.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
My name is Mark Childress, and I do not support that ever.
No, I'm just saying he's
AB
not
is probably
here.
the
He's
most
not.
committed.
No, I'm just saying he's not here, so be red from the smoke. That's all.
No,
We're just being funny.
yeah, it's all good.
So yeah, we're gonna speak as a collective, and
It sounds
Dre
like
is going to be our spokesperson.
Oh wow, this is
Well, I
boot
was about to
camp.
say.
Okay.
This is using our voice. Hello, thank you. I wasn't even gonna leave with that. That's really good.
Yo, ain't shit.
Let's start with Jeff.
Yeah, let's start with Jeff.
Okay, Jeffrey.
I don't know what that is.
Jeff.
What do you see?
So what I see from Jeff is good guy.
I agree.
Definitely. I would call you like more like the sleeper cell. Like it's more like there's definitely another side to you. But your forward facing face like is really good. Like, and that's your core. Like, you are a good guy. I do think like there's a switch like all of us have. I feel like you're very personable. You're very like I could leave you in a room and be fine. Like you're.
What's that mean? Like I play by myself?
Like
you
you
can
can hold your own.
and
You can
hold
hold your own.
Okay.
Like you're
Thought you meant like
sociable,
little
you're gonna
kids.
work the room, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
like
that's
I don't have to worry about you being a sticker. I don't have to worry about you being attached to my hip. Like
Yeah, he'll
I
show
don't
up.
have to, you know, work on behalf of you. Like I can be like, hey, he's gonna go work the room. He's gonna do what he needs to do. Like he's gonna be, you know, his own version of life of the party. Like
Even if he
I ain't
didn't
gotta
want
work.
to, he's gonna be like,
Yeah, like you can turn it on and be like, all right,
Facts.
we're gonna, you know, make it move.
Yeah.
One of the first things, like I said, I noticed was just how you interact with people. Like you have a very natural way of just interacting with people. I peeped how like you were just helping people up and down like the stairs, and it was natural. It wasn't like you were putting on. It was like you were trying to score brownie points. It was just okay. That's in his DNA. Like that's
your
just what
character.
he does.
we call you the husband type.
Yeah. So it's you've got like a.
It's
a lot
not
of pressure.
No.
Are you sweating? Are you sweating?
No.
Oh, okay.
When we say a husband type, it's not like it's not saying, oh, you're gonna be the greatest husband,
Right.
but yours
foundation
is
is there.
somebody exactly
Yeah.
like you marry
Okay.
you,
Okay.
like you marry you. Like it doesn't say like, oh, we're not gonna ever have issues. It's just like
Or it's not to say that you don't have work to still do.
absolutely.
Right. Because everybody does. Especially
Absolutely.
this gentleman right here.
But we all do.
Sure.
We all do. But that still doesn't take away from your being beautiful. So
Awesome, man.
But yeah, but like, and then, you know, we're gonna give the good with the bad. But I also think in your.
What's it?
go to the back.
She put that in there. No. We gotta.
Bullshit sandwich.
Yeah, what does that mean?
But
What does
because
that
of that, because I feel like you're. What's the best way to put it? Like, well, I'm famous for saying I'm an I'm not an open book, but I'm a book you can open.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I feel like with you have to ask the right questions in order to get the full picture. Like you still have to kind of peel away a little bit. Like you're gonna give just enough to be like, all right, but what's the full
story?
But like not in a deflection type of way.
I'm diarrhea. I'm diarrhea in the mouth.
It's not in a deflection type of way. It's like you're just extremely mindful of what you allow out. But we also don't know if that's coming from a space of like, I just don't know y'all, so I'm not about to give that to y'all. But I think it's in a way that you really be trying to figure the shit out by yourself. So in a way suppressing.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just you being mindful. So, but it's like it's like I want to just say no. Let's really just talk about it because I see the suppressing,
right?
Like, but I would also know what to say. But I think you're really just trying to figure it out within yourself. But you're doing a really, really good job handling it. But you still need to. You can't suppress everything. Like you're mindful to a fault. If that makes sense.
I don't know them like that.
And like we kind of don't. Like I think we've known you over a month.
You're not wrong though. You're not.
But
you're not wrong.
like it's like there's something, but also it's like being new to knowing, like and knowing me. Like I'm not one to initially pry. Like if we had like a year or two in the game and like you're like I'm all in your business, like boy, what's
I would like a whack at it. Hello, give me 30 minutes because we gonna talk about some real shit.
Right.
Forget all that shit that you was trying to go. Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about the real stuff. Like
where she's like that at like day one. I'm like that like after a while. I'm like, boy, who you? It's me.
Right.
What the hell is wrong with your ass? Like, why is we like? What is this? Like, we snap out of it. Like, that's when I get a little more like. We not about to do this shit. Like, you ain't out. What you doing? Like, boy, like, you're frustrating the fuck out of me. Like, what are we doing? Where, like, in the beginning, I'm more like, let's see, and, like, read and report. Like, okay, so he's this type, he's that type. Like, he's, okay, this is how he's going to move. Like, okay, it's not bad, but it's like, okay, that's the next level. Like, it's like, okay, if I could get him to tell, like, the full scope off the rip and not have to, like,
he's not one of the ones that you can literally just, I'm going to observe him. No, you'll get nothing except for what he's putting out his forefront because he works really, he's really good. Like if you've seen him, you'll be like, oh no, he's good. But he's the type of person like you have to probe him just a little bit. You're not going to just, I'm going to observe him first. You're going to see
that's
great
very
shit.
True.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no, because
that's very true.
In the same sense, though, you can tell something's off.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't know how.
You wear your emotions on your sleeve.
Yeah,
for sure.
but you're not gonna say.
Yeah, you wear
It depends what emotion I decide to share with who I decide to share.
Yeah, but you're not going to share it. It's easy for people who know you to know that something's up.
Yeah.
But
Boom, boom.
it's going to be up to you to actually divulge what it is.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Right. So it's like either I can 21 question you to try to get to where we need to go,
Or just be like,
or like
wait
I'd have to
until
like
you
I'd have to really earn that from you
like-
to be like off rip. If you have a bad day, it's
Damn.
diarrhea
It's
at the
number
mouth.
2.
I'm nervous
It's
now,
number
bro.
2. Yeah, it's number.
I'm
but
nervous.
I think you guys. Let me say this: you guys have pegged me pretty. Well, I mean, it's probably 95%. There's a little bit of what you said is true because we need to hold a little bit of what does that mean, or what? I can't figure this all out. There has to be that until you know someone, then they can
absolutely.
fully.
But the fact that they got that,
Was really
that's impressive.
great.
That's
It was
impressive.
great. It was
Yeah,
great.
no.
Which is why I'm nervous.
That's why I said like I
That's
don't.
great.
It's just
That's
coming from
great.
a space of just like maybe you're just not comfortable with us, which is completely because of course we're just like we're not like your friends to just be like, oh okay, no, this is really just how it is. So it can work both ways. Like either he just doesn't really say anything, or it takes a lot for him to just say it, or we didn't earn that space, which is rightfully so. Like we just showed up here. You don't know if we got what intentions we have for you, like what energy we carry.
Well,
Right.
it's that too. Like you said, you got to protect your energy.
Absolutely.
I'm a
Right.
full believer. And it's also like this. Sometimes you don't invite people to the full party. You invite them to half of the party to kind of see where they are.
Yeah.
You know, you've heard that before.
You have an open party, and then you have
Something
like a closed party.
Closed, you know what I'm saying? Some people have, right, exactly.
You
Make sure
gotta
they
go
think
through the
exactly.
open party.
And also too, I think like when you first
Yeah.
meet someone, it's like they haven't been placed yet. So it's
Right.
like, okay, am I talking to this person like somebody that like, am I talking to my little sister? Am I talking to my cousin? Am I talking to my next wife? Am I talking to like who am I talking to? So like I know for me, like that's kind of where my hesitation comes from. I'm like, I don't want to pigeonhole anybody.
Yeah.
So I try to be as neutral as I can in the beginning to just be like, hey, who are you? Like, what are you about? Who is this over here?
It's like
so
I'm hearing myself.
then I can be like, okay, let me properly place you. To be like, okay, cool. Like, oh, this is gonna be the homie. This is gonna be someone that, you know, maybe if we continue down this road and we can get some things squared away, it may be, or maybe this is. But I try not to, because I was quick back in my day, like especially in my 20s. Like I said, I didn't want to be married, so everybody was my brother. Everybody.
That's tough though.
And so now coming out of that space, it's like, nah, like let me slow up and be like, hey, like let me see who you are,
Where I want to place
and
it
where
in my
I
life.
And where you need to
place
be
it,
in my
but
life.
also giving you the space to do the same. Because I feel like you do a lot of that too. Like I don't know what this is yet, so before I say
I
too
fuck
much
up.
or do too
Absolutely.
much, it's like let me just ease into like I'm gonna give you just breadcrumbs and see which path you follow.
Which could be a test, like we talked about before. Could be a test.
I wouldn't use that word.
I think with yours, you're just trying to. Yours doesn't come off as a test. Yours is literally like you're trying to figure out your own shit and just being mindful of. It's like a you thing. It has nothing to do with
It's my
anybody.
own energy needs to be protected before we just.
Yeah. It's just a.
Right on.
I like that. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate.
welcome.
Hey, man, that
We're
was
gonna
good.
send you our invoice.
I'm a cheap person.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
$3 in the bank.
I'm broke, baby.
Oh man.
What do you see with Mark?
I'll give y'all $150.
Mark is he want to be a mystery so bad, and he not.
I am such a mystery.
You're not.
You're not.
You're an open book.
You're not.
Ish.
You're not at all.
You are. You.
Are you trying to like not say words?
Just kidding.
I know. I'm just like, what words are you
Listen, y'all
not trying
broke me
to
down.
say?
Listen,
So with
gotta get
Mark, it's you play a different game.
Oh, okay.
So with Mark,
Mark
it's-
plays mind games.
You play on the perception of what has typically worked. I don't think you found your the grown
His
man
match.
approach.
What do you mean?
Like, I think it's still a little of that, like, that right amount of, I'm the, you know, like when in northern high school, I used to do that whole, like, oh, I'm the shy guy. Boy spell shy.
He's like you're like a baby Leo.
A baby Leo?
Yeah.
baby Leo.
No, so what I mean by that, it's not bad.
No.
It's
I
not
am a
bad.
Leo, but
Yeah, no. Okay, so
Have you seen this page?
I've
haven't.
I've seen his
I
page.
want to hear. I want to
Sorry.
No, so when I say baby Leos, it's
That's a cub. right?
like no. So okay, let me change. It's not a baby. It's like I want to take back the baby Leo comment because yes, like it's like a baby cub. No,
Like a teenage
I think,
Leo. Like
not a teenage Leo. I don't know what happened, but I would love to know like what put you in this space, like what happened or who hurt you that led to this version of you. It's beautiful, but it's something happened to trigger this part of you just wanting to be better for you. Something happened. Something always happened.
Oh, this is
And
okay to be where I'm at right now.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just like, even if it's just life, but there was something that, you know how you could just be like, at this moment this happened and this is why I
Changed trajectory.
Yes.
I feel like you went like this is your. I feel like you ventured into something and it didn't pan out, and so you retreated back to
What is
your
this?
comfort.
What's this something?
And
What is
that's
the
the
something?
something that I think she's hitting on. Like there was something that you were gung ho about.
I think it was a moment. I
and
can't really say if it was a relationship or something, but something happened and you was just like, okay,
I could do bad all by
Like-
myself. Like,
bet is on, or I'm just on.
I know that.
I'm about to change. You probably really. It's
I know
only for
exactly
you.
what that moment
Me
is.
time. Me
Yeah,
time.
exactly. To where you just like, either you were completely over yourself and you continue and probably doing the same thing, insanity, doing the same thing, and then expecting something different. So it could have been that. It could have been you were over fucking humans and you just like, yo, I need some time to just figure me out. So the space that it seems like you're in now is just like you're still figuring you out, but then in the, and I just say in a baby Brianna way, in a baby Brianna way, only because like, no, I'm still with the shits. Don't get me wrong, I'm still with the shits. And it could just be like games or whatever we play in our head, because you do play mind games. That's naturally how you are. And why I say a baby Brianna is because I had to get over that too.
Are you a Leo, dude?
No,
She's a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus.
Oh, damn.
And I had to ruin myself because I didn't want to be that way anymore, because I used to play. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was fun to me. That's how I know I was a fucking killer or something in my past lifetime. Like, clearly there's something wrong with me, because why is this shit fun? But yeah, so you like
You are scary.
No, I want to hear this, bro.
I'm sorry.
but
I'm
no,
so intrigued right now.
That's what I see. I just see a moment. I can't pinpoint the moment of what it was, but to you, it was just like, okay, enough is enough. It was just like you're tired of you, but I think it could have been a little bit of, yo, like, I'm just tired of everything and something has to change. And that's why you're on your journey. It's beautiful. It's
But you are
definitely
on your journey.
Absolutely. This shit is about you.
Yeah.
This shit's so fucking personal. Fuck
That's
y'all, respectfully.
perfect. I mean, we all go through that.
Yeah.
Like everyone should go through that phase where you.
But
have
yours
that.
is like a Leo way. So a Leo way is just different anyway. It's just like, nah, fuck y'all, respectfully. This is it. I'm gonna do this shit my way. But it has to be your way, because this is your journey.
I will say that you guys are pretty spot on. That it is, it is like I'm on my shit right now.
Yeah, I would
Like,
agree with that, too. Growth and development.
Because we talk all the time. It's like, hey man, what'd you do? Did you get it? I was like, nah, man. It's like, why? Like that ain't what I'm on right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why not? Like, I don't know why. I'm just not on it. You know
I
what I'm
want to
saying?
know what happened.
I'm
offline.
Yeah, offline.
I
Growth and development.
Yeah, but I would like to know the moment.
I'll tell you what it is. It's not. It wasn't a moment. It was therapy. It was going back and actually
But what led you to therapy?
Yes.
a breakup.
It makes.
And
There you go.
And when
Y'all right.
Leos break
Y'all
up,
right. Y'all
I'm the type of person that I want to, like, I'm a helper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to help. And I had to learn that I can't help everybody. Like I can't come to the rescue of everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
you had
So
your Captain
I
Save
have to.
moments.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane.
I want to say it's Captain Save them, but like if somebody asks a question, if they needed help, it's like, okay, cool. Or I would ask if they needed help. You need
Yeah.
anything? And just because that's always been me.
Yeah.
And I had to learn to take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like they say in the airplane, when the
Put your
mask
mask
come
on
down, you
first.
put your mask on first, then you help others. And now I'm on that. Hey man, if you want to ride with me, you know what I'm saying? There's room in the car. But if not,
But yeah, I'm
the
good.
car's still going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We still leaving.
Definitely
So-
see that. It's like, that's when I say like, oh no, but this shit is real personal.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's that. So when I say like, fuck you respectfully, it's kind of is what you said. Like, I'm still on my shit. You can come, but I really don't even give a fuck if you don't.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
good either way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're definitely.
I was like, not bad.
There. It's not- it's not bad.
that's the space you're in, and with most like Leos, that's the space. Like until you are fully where you're destined to be,
Agreed.
and things are clicking the way you perceived them to be, and you wanted and you willed them to be, like, for the most part, y'all are in that fuck that. Like,
But when is Leo season? What's that?
We don't count July, but the end of July through August 22nd.
Yep, they're spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I can't
They're
wait.
spot on.
So
and it's not just your sign, like, it's just the little interactions that we
Yeah.
have. Like,
It's just
and
sign
with
too.
that, your observant side is coming out a little more. So, like, I know y'all say y'all are opposite, but, like, at the moment, like, y'all
We're
are
like-
kind of
we're two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, right now, like, he's the more observant one. He's the more in the cut. He's the more, like, I want to draw just enough attention to make sure I still got it, but I
He don't
don't
give a fuck.
really want to. I really don't
wanna
want to take
lead
shit
anyone
home.
in.
Like,
Yeah.
like, I really don't want to bring shit home.
Yeah, like, I
I really
don't
ain't
give-
about entertaining nobody
I'll
else.
talk to you here, but I
But,
really don't give a fuck
You know,
right now.
but
Respectfully,
Leos have a healthy ego, so it's like, I still need to know, like, I could if I wanted to. Like, you're in that type of
Yeah.
space. So, like,
So-
I'm going to give just
I
enough.
can't wait until you all the way, like, because I don't want to say this because it's not
Just say it.
offending.
Just say it.
Because even saying like a baby Leo, but that's why I say at the end of your journey, like when a grown man Leo. So that's why I say a baby, because you're going through it. But you on the other side of
Let's say
you,
he's like
oh my
elementary.
fucking God.
Like, you're in
Have the
elementary.
main and everything.
Oh no, but he's going. It's gonna be that shit is gonna be so fucking beautiful. Like it's gonna be. I cannot wait to just witness it. Like it's gonna be that.
Yeah, because when
that
Leos
amazing.
get to that level,
I
it's
can
like
it's completely
you
different.
can't. There's a level that is like, okay, like
It's
you
gonna be
reach
crazy.
just such a. There's such a, like, back to kind of her safe space. Like, you become that. Like, you're safe. You're confident. You're about your shit. Like, it
But in
has
a mindful
different-
space,
yeah.
you'll find the balance between. Because right now it's kind of just like, oh no, it's me, because it is personal. So once you get to the other side of that, you can kind of incorporate who you've always been with boundaries. Plus the newfound you. It's got what dope as fuck.
It
I
clicks.
can't wait.
Like, it's like
I'm
all
biting-
the
I'm
it
biting
all's
the chunks.
gonna drop.
And you know,
Wait,
it's
wait,
funny.
wait.
It's something I'm really looking forward to that. I can
You should.
see. I can see that light at the end of the tunnel. Where you know
Absolutely.
exert my boundaries and like, which I had never done before.
Exactly.
Let me
Yeah,
say
but
this.
you're gonna have, because right now you just probably like, okay, you probably went through the stage, especially coming from like a 10-year helper shit. Like, I don't want to help anybody right now. I really want to just help myself. I'm literally only helping myself, versus as you go through it, just like, oh, I can help one person here and there, and then but once you get there, you're gonna have so much, like, you're gonna be so aware of self. You're gonna have boundaries. No, I can't help you. I would love to, not right now. I still care about you. Thank you. But everybody's gonna feel it, and nobody's gonna be offended. We're gonna just be like,
We get in where
So
we
I gotta say this. I gotta cut you off. So, I'm so glad
gonna be
y'all
dope.
brought this up
Wow.
because, I have two Leos in my life, two family members, one of which I moved here with, and I've never connected y'all, but I've asked y'all the same questions before, and you've answered the same way. He already went off and did his journey. I moved here with him. I watched his. I'm known as this is my little cousin. I watched him. It's like my little brother. I watched him blossom into a lawyer and so much more, father, all these other things. I see you in the same realm, but I also see you figuring it out. And once I saw him get out, I already see where you're going.
absolutely.
I already,
Like,
I
you
already
could
know
see
what
it.
it is. Like they've explained it so well that I could have never put it into the words.
well,
they've
it's a
explained
true
it.
lion's walk. Like,
Yeah,
even
right.
from the
Yeah.
animalistic
Literally.
point of view, a
They're on
lion
it.
goes from cultivating a tribe, getting his pride together to, get the females to a position where they can hunt, getting, the location set, putting all the pieces in play, so that eventually when he's at the top of Pride Rock, he's just looking at what he created and what he built.
Literally.
So it's always been a journey for Leos. There was always a journey and a walk, and it always came with different highs and lows. So it's literally like you went from hunting and gathering and building and creating and pouring into and building up all the pieces that you needed, and then once they're built, you just
You're
get
good.
to rest,
And
and
you'll-
your rest
you'll
is where you
feel it.
find your peace, your joy, your light at the end of the tunnel, but that's the true Leo walk. Like, I have a play brother who he went through all the, like, he irked my whole spirit, and now we're in a place where I'm like, oh my God, thank God you grown. And I mean, he's a good 10, 12 years older than me, but it's like, now I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, yes, I will actually follow you, because I used to fight him tooth and nail, because I'm like, boy, you can't tell me nothing because your ass still lost. But now that he's on the other side of it, I'm like, all right, like, cool. But I had to realize too, I was one of his lionesses. Like, he was building me and like, so it was all the fights, all the frustration, all the, boy, you get on my, like, what are you talking about? Like, I ain't on, like, what the?
It's making sure everybody's strong.
So he makes sure everybody is battle tested, and but he'll create the battles to make sure we're tested.
That's the mind games that you play.
Exactly. So you're still in that building up those battles and those scenarios and those situations to be like, hey, when I go, like,
you gotta be able to hold your own.
Everybody I touched, everybody that was in my circle, my crew, they ready.
They ready.
Quizzes.
Oh, well,
I don't know.
It's quizzes. I don't say mind games. I can't just say like regular games, because his is all mental.
Cerebral.
It's not. It would never just be like move the train. It's more calculated. It's more thoughtful. It's a grown man's game. It's your mind. He's never gonna just be like,
it's calculus.
Here.
Damn.
It's not gonna be like that. So that's why I say mind games.
They figured me out.
For real.
They figured me out.
Crack the code.
Crack the code. But you, honestly, you're not hard to read at all. It's actually cute. Like, watching you.
I know, because
it's really cute. Like, he just like got it. I'm like, oh, look at her.
No, I'm like, oh, the baby. But both of you are kind of like that. Like, y'all both think y'all are really like and I'm like, no. And it's true to a woman's form. Like, it's our place to allow you that space. Like, and that's where I've seen women go real left. Is like, you want to instinctually be like, you did it.
I want you to exist in the space that you're in. Right. It's kind of just like you want to allow them to do what, just to see what they want to do. I'm never going to tell you to do anything. Right. I want you to be your authentic self. So I get to know that version of you. I never want to change you.
And that's what I mean when I say I want to see someone go through seasons and phases. And it's not necessarily the worst thing in your life has to happen to you. Like, I don't need to see your worst. But I need to see the minor inconveniences. I need to see how you, like, what does adversity mean to you? Like, I'm a big sports girl. I'm going to need about a good, maybe 5 to 10 to 15 minutes when my Cowboys fuck up like usual. Like, I'm going to need a little space, but I'm going to get over it. So it's like, are you the type that, your team lose? Like, we just might as well close the door. Like, we ain't doing shit. Like, what are your how do you my grandmother used to say it best. She was like, it's not the big hits, it's the paper cuts. Like, it's like it's the annoyances that usually kill a relationship. It's not really the big stuff that gives you permission to walk away in most cases. It's the compiled little bitty slices, like
1,000 cuts.
Right, I'm big into anime, cuts. And it's usually those ones where like, it's like, if you cut just so, like, if you just nick, it's not the big. You're liable to survive a gunshot.
It's the stumping of the toe on the side of the body. Right,
or it's like the clip of the Achilles that'll end you. Like, it's never really the big blows that really get us. Like, we can handle the big shit. Like, you cheat, obvious. Like, depending on, like, I walked in on you, like, easy. Like, you cussed me out, you hit me, whatever it is. Like, those are big, but it's usually the silent killers, the little bitty, like, I always say, I want to like you. Yeah. And I don't think people put enough preference on that. Like,
well, you should start with like before you start with anything else.
But we don't as a society. No. So as a society, we go into lust. So we instinctually will feel like, oh my God, this is, or we go into placement. I'm at a place in my life where I need to be a wife. I need to be a husband. And I don't care who the fuck it is. I'm a husband in this day, and I'm a wife. And even in those spaces, you have to discern, but are you everybody wife? Like,
I want to be my husband's wife.
That man's wife. That's the specific man's wife. And we don't put enough on that. We just say, hey, I'm a certain age, or hey, my clock's ticking, hey, my mama getting on my nerves.
I've been there.
Like, and I just want to be married.
Been there.
And like I always joke, like men get married for two reasons. They don't want to lose you, or they really just want to be married.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
Do you?
and women, it's kind of the same. Like, we want the glitz and the glam, or we just don't want to have kids out of wedlock.
Do you think
Or
that
we fall in love with somebody that we really...
the aspect of how men are in a lot of instances is due to the fact, maybe in a lot of cases, not mine, but in many guys' cases, the lack of having like a male figure in the home?
The reason why they don't want marriage, or they do?
Yeah, why they go through a lot of the games and, you know, the scene of dating that, or, you know, that
Well,
we
I think
tend to see
there are
right
less good examples of good monogamous men, especially in our black and brown communities. So you don't have a lot of examples.
now. Yeah.
We fortunately, and even the examples of women that we have aren't the same examples we used to. Like, our examples of strong women now are more independent. You know, or they took the Oprah approach. Like, no knock to it. She ain't marrying Stedman ever.
Yeah, that's
But
business.
that's her dude.
Do it.
Right.
Like, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as that's what both parties are agreed and adhering to.
I only could play devil advocate for that because I know men who didn't see that and said, like, this is just what I want. I think to simplify the answer to your question, we're not taught choices. And I do feel like at the end of the day, when people play games, especially like as a young child, that's what you do. You play games and it's your journey. That's your journey. But then at some point you're just like, okay, the shit gets old. And then we understand it's a choice. It's a choice to be a dog ass nigga. Like it's a choice to be a faithful ass nigga. It's a choice. Life is all about choices. So for us to say, why does a man want to play games? Because he's choosing to. That's a choice. Simplify the shit. Let's not complicate it. Because if he didn't want to, then he wouldn't.
Which is why I don't highlight on
I got a
people's
couple
past
questions,
reflections of people. I'm like, I need to see for myself.
So I just got to bring it back. So I got to say two things. One of which is I personally can never take a celebrity relationship, and that's Obama's or anybody else, because I'm not there. I have no idea what they go through. I see them on camera. I can't take that as a grain of salt because I don't know what's glamour and glitz and what's real. Right. That's just me. So taking that inside of out.
But the general is
I don't look at anybody and be like, oh, I've been in a long relationship. You've been in a long relationship. So
I've been in a long relationship.
Everybody,
even my parents, you know, like even living in the house with them,
yes,
and seeing them every day, even I didn't know
right.
the ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? Right. So whether you celebrity or not, or you know, Joe smoking
but you still have that perception of
you have the perception that everything is okay.
So speaking of and what the original question was, and just to bring it back to the depression, the question of is this: I didn't grow up in a house with a man and woman. Okay, so to say that we're talking about men's relationship with fathers, or strong roles of fathers, not necessarily relationships that they see or close relationships. We're talking about strong roles with a male figure. If that is not present in a man's life, the effects that it's going to have on him sometimes outweigh their mother's perspective, because I can't look to my mother to learn how to become a man, even though she may have, you know, great insight into her father's whatever and teach you this is what my father did and this is how you can become.
It's
I think
different.
you still need to have a man, and I'm speaking from my perspective because that is only my perspective. So even though I had
and that's why I'm
roles.
big on. But could you say that you had strong male figures. Like, it may not have been your dad or your grandfather, but
like your
there
uncles,
was an uncle or a family friend or a barber or a teacher. Or I'm a firm believer in village raising. Now, I'm not a mother yet, but I was raised with, like, when I talk about my family, like 90% of the time I'm not talking about my blood. Like, I have uncles that I don't even know what the relationship is. Like, I couldn't tell you where the bloodline crossed, but they're my family. So I got to see, because my biological dad wasn't a part of my family. My stepdad, he traveled a lot. We have a whatever relationship we have. But it was my uncles, my grandfathers, my play uncles, my cousins that I built my idea of a man. Because even as women, we build up the idea of whether you have a good father or bad father, you piece it together through entertainment, through like we've all pieced together our perfect parent, our perfect spouse, our perfect whatever it is based off of what we've experienced. And that's why I use the celebrity example. It's like we've got to see it to emulate it.
Yeah.
Like, my mama don't hide nothing. So it's like I always knew that relationships were work. I never had the Disney version of relationships where we all live happily ever after. No, it was it's gonna be good days, it's gonna be bad days, and that's why I never jump into relationships lightly. My cousin said it best. I won't say I'm more masculine, but like I definitely inherited and took in.
You're a real nigga.
You're more masculine.
I took a lot of my male influences in as I was growing up.
I be telling her,
We've talked about that.
Be in your feminine space. It's beautiful here. I love it.
But don't get me wrong. You're still feminine, and we're not going to take anything away from that.
No.
But sometimes your thought processes.
Yes, my thought process is real,
on a level of that, and that's relatable to a lot of men, because a lot of men will see that and be like, she can be and I hate to say this, homie, lover, friend.
Story of my life, but it usually bites me in the ass because there is a softness but for me, that softness is earned, and it's like you have to really flip that switch.
I tell her she has to learn to be a damsel in distress,
and I'm learning to be in that.
No, at times though, because at the end of the day, from what I've surveyed, because I know I asked, but men, a man still has to feel needed regardless.
Yes, and I have gotten you did. I've gotten better at being able to be like, no, I don't want to do that.
Absolutely.
I absolutely think that God's my homie. He already know I'll be lying on him.
That's my guy. Looking out, man. You've been looking out. I swear, you've been looking out.
I absolutely think it ties into it. Just men need their fathers. Like, they really, really need their fathers.
Agreed.
A woman could never. Sorry, we could never. We could want to so very bad.
Y'all can do a lot, though.
Oh no, we do a lot. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you still need those talks from, even if it's not a father. So like, I do village raise, and I am very my daughter is so blessed. And if I did not village raise, my daughter lost her father's last year.
Oh, gotcha.
So if I didn't village raise, she would not have that. She wouldn't have a father. So she still gets all of that. But even like as a son, like my daughter needs that, because we get the real. She's going into high school. These niggas don't want shit but some coochie. You ain't got nothing to offer. So we're very transparent in village raising. We raise the same. So we have these real conversations. We want the real approach. We don't hide anything. But I could only imagine, like, my son, I could tell you everything from a woman's point of view.
And that's what I think is helpful for a son. And I can speak from my own perspective.
But you guys need both how we need both.
Absolutely.
You guys need somebody. You need that uncle to be like,
Absolutely.
Yo, nephew, you messing up. You really fucking up, and this is where it's going to lead you. Versus a mom, we just like, my baby, I don't want you to do anything.
But as someone who's had a father figure,
and let me not say that I didn't have that, because I had a grandfather, that was my dad figure too.
I'm like actually having my. I didn't have. I have a uncle, but it wasn't like village raising.
Shout out to the real chill too.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Richard. This is my guy, man.
That's a shark, man. He in a chill. He's a shark.
Yeah.
Shark.
That's the shark.
He's a shark.
Yeah.
Come on, Shaq.
Correction.
But like a lot of what I learned was more so from my brothers because he worked so much. You know what I'm saying? Although he instilled a lot of like fix the shit on your own type of stuff. You know what I mean? It was more so seeing Mike and Brian go through a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And kind of that's why I'm such a mix of them.
Yeah.
Because like, all right,
real.
I don't want to do that. I don't want that result.
Yeah.
I like that result, but I like
Are
this
you a
action.
baby?
But I don't like that result.
Are
know
you
what
the
I'm saying?
baby?
I'm like the middle child.
Yeah.
There's two middle child. They're 4 children.
The middle.
Brian was out of the house,
But you're the youngest
I'm the youngest boy.
Oh,
There's
so
still
you're
someone-
the
there's
baby.
still
You're the
someone
baby.
below.
I'm the
No.
baby boy.
She's the youngest.
No.
She's the
But he's the
youngest.
baby
He's
boy,
the
so
baby
you're.
boy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
But then
They
also,
have deduced
like,
everything.
no,
I'm the only
no,
child.
I
What does that
don't.
mean?
I don't think
Oh,
it has
it
a
is.
bad thing.
No,
or
no,
anything.
it's
I
not
think,
bad.
also,
Can I be a
like,
baby boy? No, I'm just kidding.
goes to what
You're
you
the
said,
only
like how you
child,
learned
that's
from your
all.
brother, and you did have your father in the house. We don't even talk about that. Like I had the conversation with my mom today, because I do ask. I was telling her about what me and somebody else was talking about, and she just asked me. She was just like, "So what was your trauma?" Because I said, "What trauma from your childhood do you think that affects you the most of your adulthood?" She asked me, and I was just like, "Yo." That I had no guidance. My mom was always in the house, but I still did the shit by myself.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell the parents that then I had to tell them, I had to forgive my mom, like, yo, you did the best that you could. Me, I'm a parent. I'm literally doing the best that I
All
can.
you can ever do.
So we don't say, but we don't talk about that. Like, yeah, I had a 2-parent household, and I'm still fucked up because I still had to learn all this shit by myself. Because yeah, they were both in the house, but no, I tell my mom all the time, I'm still waiting to have the sex talk. Whenever you ready, I didn't have a baby. I would like the sex talk.
shit, I had that.
Please.
Oh no, I had
See, I
that.
had that.
I want to have the sex talk, but
I had it and I gave it.
but
Damn.
imagine like how we are.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
So you was in preschool.
I was
learning, I'm learning.
I gave my daughter the 8th grade. She's been having sex talks through 8th grade, but
Okay.
that's me literally. It's a never fucking cycle, and that's why we all need therapy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing what my parents did. She's gonna be the opposite of hers.
Yeah.
But one thing I can say, just how like all the men are now. Oh my God, y'all fucking sons are going to be so beautiful.
Agreed.
Because they're not going to be suppressing their feelings. It's going to be a turnoff. If you can't talk to this woman and tell her your feelings and she want to, because a lot of the men now, they're just like, I was never able to say anything. They like, stop acting like a bitch. And he suppressed his stuff, and now he's having fucking manic anxiety attacks at 30
Yeah.
because he never knew that his feelings are supposed
valid.
to be for a boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a bitch because I want to cry. Fucking cry.
Yeah, I heard
So
it.
now y'all crying in the shower instead of just, yo, you hurt me. That shit really hurt my feelings. Nigga, toughen up. What? I'm
Well,
8.
You know,
And seeing the same approach, like my more masculine side actually came from my mom.
Yeah.
Because I was an only child to a single mom for my first 7 years. And even though I
Yeah.
had, so the men in my life were like my safe space, but it still wasn't like, I was probably more quiet in those spaces. Like that was like my, like,
you didn't
my
have a voice.
softness. Like it was more of like where I got my hugs and my cuddles and my, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna watch the game and I'm just gonna exist.
Yeah.
Because you don't want anything from me. Like you just want me to be happy and you just want me to exist.
This makes me sad.
Where like the women in my life were like, no,
date.
you gotta go get it, you gotta get it, you gotta go. So for me, it was like, it was the women that like pushed me.
Yeah.
That's because our parents aren't healed.
Right. So it's
That's-
like, it's that constant.
That too.
And if you
They're learning.
dare like go outside of them, like if they did ABC and you want to be Z through ZYX, how dare you? Like, no, I ABC'd, you ABC.
Is it also this? I don't know what I don't know. So yeah, you can do that, but I really can't help you in that, and I don't feel comfortable trying to tell you how to just don't do that. Just don't do that.
No, it's not even that. It's literally from a space of you're saying you're better than me, not realizing that you raised me to be so.
Yeah, this she's
Like you
it's
did.
her experience.
Yeah, my
It's her
experience is very like.
okay.
It's that like no, like I did this. You have to follow my steps.
Yeah, you follow
and if
my
you
lead.
don't follow my lead, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only space I didn't have that was my male counterparts. So that is where like that split kind of happens for me. So with guys, I am a little more softer. I am a little more like, oh, I don't want to, like I release more like with a guy that's earned that place, because I'm like, that was my upbringing. There's always something that you're compared to.
Oh, I know. I have
So-
brothers and sisters, by
That's
the way.
one thing I try to teach my kids is that you're you. You know what I'm saying? You're you. Granted, I've done all this amazing stuff in my life. You know, I'm just the best.
Let's hear about it.
But,
I'm not kidding.
but
Does she feel like she has to fill? And he's a baby, but does she have to fill the shoes of Mr. M now because of him being the baby and coming along, or does she feel like she's her own lady and her walk is her walk?
you talking about Slim?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, her walk is her walk. She loves her brother. You know, I don't get it. Like she asks about him every day. You know, like every single day. She wants to talk to him every day. But in the sense of like being a mom or no, like no. And I would never allow her to even try to enter that realm, because that's not. I would be Mr. Mom before I would let her have to deal with that shit.
How old is she?
She's 13.
She ain't gonna do it anyway. These new kids different. She's like, that's your baby.
She
won't
would
do it.
Would
She
won't do
would.
it.
She would.
No,
Like,
and there's like that much,
'Cause
because I was
she
saying like
wants
my baby
that.
brother was my baby
family.
until
So
like,
for me, I'm an only child by my mother.
But-
My dad had other kids, so I have older brothers and older sisters. Now our relationships, like you said, like 10 or 15 years apart. Like there is
Your own
no
children.
real
Relationship.
connection. I've never lived in the house with any of these people. Then when I call them, You know, it is what it is. And we
Yeah.
are what we are. But there's
Like-
no more than
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
watching them doing that, or even hearing your story, or you know, you talking about that. I know you have a sister. You have two.
Yeah, but mine's was not like that. So that's why even with Drea's, I'll be trying to tell her like, y'all can absolutely get better, because me and my mom was, but I never had the whole comparison. My mom was just like, better than me. Like she always. So it's completely different.
Okay.
But then I still had my own mother issues too. So that's why I
Yeah.
said it. They're literally doing the best.
Yeah,
that they
you
can.
push the kids to.
Yeah.
And even I have a nephew, the only other boy, and I have the same conversation with him that I do with my daughter. Like, look, man, like if this is something that you want to do, then we're gonna support you. And you know, do you want to? I asked my daughter, I said, do you want to run track or do you want to run track? She's like, what's the difference? I said, do you want to run track? Just want to go out there and just be out there, or do you actually want to run? And she was like, I want to run. I want to
I
be.
was out
In
there.
I want to be.
Olympics.
Floyd
I know
Jones
how to
record.
be
Like,
on you there.
and I'm like,
Absolutely.
okay, perfect. I know how to push you.
Yeah.
Right. Where, you know, I asked my nephew, and he's like, you know, I'm good either
I'll
way.
do
He
it.
didn't
Like,
care.
okay, cool. So we know
But he's
not to
He's gonna
invest
fly.
so much into that, because
Right.
it's not your
calling.
passion.
So
Yeah.
You know
let's
what I'm
say this.
saying?
So we're talking about people who now, and the people to the right and left of me, are walking into their passions, or already are in their space, right? Opposed to kids who have no clue what they're going to do, and these parents and these relationships we talked about can mold or define what you're going to be in the future, or what you
To an
didn't
extent.
see,
To a degree.
or what you didn't see could be what you strive for.
Well, for me, I can only speak for myself and my parenting. I tried I'm gonna push you into this. I'm gonna push you. And I got a lot of pushback. You know, so, and then thinking of it as a human, like, if you don't want to do something that you don't want somebody pushing you to do something that you don't
taking
really
the
want
fun
to
out
do.
of
You know, it does. It takes the fun out of it. So,
Yep.
as a parent, I had to learn to just let the kid be who she is. You know what I'm saying? She's Slim. That's you. She got her own style. Hey, if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to wear. It's funny.
I'm gonna call it
Fine to
Soldier
me.
Slim. I'm gonna call it Soldier
But
Slim.
you know, that's that's your style. You know,
It's
and
funny now.
she loves it, and she rocks it, and she's confident in it, and is like, all right, you know, I see you. So,
But also your dad.
I am
so
dad.
a dad and a dad and a daughter relationship is very different than a mother daughter relationship.
Just like a father and son relationship
Yeah,
is different.
so
than
That's why I said I need a son to get all the good
like so
vibes.
it does have different dynamics. So when like the mother like they see pieces of themselves and they either see what they could have been or they see who they are. And so you're molded from jump. So when you buck the system, when you go outside that vision, it takes a minute for them to see you. Where like dads and those male figures, again, like I said, they just wanted me to be happy.
yeah,
As long as I kept my clothes on, like they was like,
cool.
hey, she happy, she healthy, I'm good. Like
Yeah,
it's simple
okay.
when you have that father to that daughter. That mother, like she's putting everything on you. You're
I
reaching
don't,
for
though.
like
So I have a daughter, and I don't. They tell me like, oh, that's how you was, because I be like, Missy is dead ass her own person. Like
she's just like you. You didn't know that.
I see a little like when they say she look like me. I'm like, where,
Girl.
But
She
Y'all
looked just like you, man.
I don't see that.
I'll
But
tell you
then
this. I've seen it once. She looked like you.
when
Missy is literally, but it's also the way that I raise her. And just to piggyback off of you, it's just especially with you know, with your baby compared to your teenager, you had to switch a parenting a million times, so you already know.
Yeah.
So just dealing with the teenage girl, I'm big on using your voice. There's a fine line though, because I want you to be this amazing human who uses your voice, but then I also don't want you to talk shit back to me.
Yeah,
So there's a balance.
there's the respect.
There's
level.
there's a
always
balance,
respect
but she's
level.
still trying to find. First of all,
Her
she's
voice.
14. She's going through emotions. She's still trying to find herself in
Yeah.
general. On top of, hold on, mom said I could use my voice. So we just it's communication style. So we
Yeah.
just figure it out. But when I say like the kids is different now, we didn't have voices back. I remember like staying in a child's place for real.
Yeah.
So
That's
even like
heard
with
that.
Missy,
Generational.
like I want her to. It's the approach that she has to, of course, take with me. But go ahead.
But I think with that being the case, as a parent, we're trying to avoid the traumas, you know, and
That's
be
all we're
able
doing.
to overcome those traumas that we had to learn in our, you know,
Yep.
20s and late 20s
but
and
there's
30s.
also a reality of generational differences. So there still is some onus to you're not gonna walk my walk. Or
Right.
you're going to have your own, like something's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
God willing, it's not what breaks you, it's not what destroys you, it's not what takes you away from me, but something has to happen to all of us for us to get it. We all have that indestructible vibe at some point where we're like, life is rainbows and glitter, and then something happens.
You know what's so crazy? I'm gonna let you ask a question, but how you're gonna be with your daughter?
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna be the complete opposite and
Totally.
try to. You're going to be the
Totally.
exact opposite.
Not
And do
exactly.
you
Oh my gosh,
know
yes, you are.
that she's gonna be in fucking therapy talking about some shit that you did? It's gonna
Oh
be
no,
so raggedy.
always.
It's
No.
gonna be so
Wait,
raggedy.
wait,
And I'm a realist first. Like I
Wait.
never believe that every relationship's gonna be like, oh no, my kids, everybody's gonna be in therapy
They're all
for
gonna be
something
there.
because there's
Absolutely.
something. Like she said, it's always
There's
your
always
childhood
something.
trauma, your relationship building that it's gonna guide you. I'm not gonna be perfect at all, but I'm not gonna do a complete 180 because there are some things that my
You learn.
mom instilled in me that I'm like, oh, like my mom was big on consequences.
So, everyone on the stage, how old was your mother when she had you?
30.
30. How old was your mother when she had you?
22.
30.
37. So, are we looking at the perspective that they had then at that age when they had you? Now she had a couple boys before that.
Yeah.
You're the
I'm the
first.
first.
I'm the first.
You're the first. So, I'm the only for her. So, is it the perspective that they have too on so my dad, he had 2, possibly 3.
We don't know what I know.
I still don't know what happened with
We
that.
don't know.
But, you know, I'm just saying, could they have looked at it at, okay, I am where I am now, so I'm going to give you all this game. I'm going to try to steer you in the direction that I think you should go in, because this is the direction I only know about from the parenting that I've had.
Each
That's
kid gets
it.
a different version of their
Oh
parents.
yeah,
No,
because
that's
me and
the
my
thing,
brother
too.
were raised
You know.
completely different.
Like me and my oldest we're 9 years apart, or we're 8 years apart. So they were 22 when they had him, and so for me, coming at 30, and what I saw as growing up versus what he may have saw growing up, you look, like you said, you're looking at two different aspects of life in general.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
But yeah, and that's true. Like they were in different spaces, and my mom does own that. She was like, "Oh yeah, when I had your brother, like, I wanted a girl. I was 30 something, so I definitely looked at him like." And she was in a different place in life. She was married. Well, she was married with me too, but like she, it was just a different. She was a different person, so she gave him something different. With me, like, they thought I was a boy until I came out, so she was like mentally in the space of having a little boy. Don't believe the sonogram, peoples.
That little thing is a thing.
Yeah, like
That was my toe mother.
Yeah, like I play with my hands a lot, so pictures, like, they were like, "Oh, turtle." No, not a turtle. So when I came out, it was like, what do I do with this girl?
Picked that up. Okay.
Oh, well, you'll follow when you.
No, I'm an adult. I understand.
Yeah, so it was a lot of like craziness, and then my dad left like before I could. So it was like she was on her own from jump. So we have a totally different relationship.
So hence to why, someone would stand on steps and help people up or help people down because they were told, you're helping everybody. Like, no. Like, you're opening all the doors. You're doing all the things you're supposed to do. Now, some of that is taken for granted, and some of that you have to take with a fine comb. But nonetheless, these relationships we've had with our parents have molded us either how we're raising kids
It's
Like I
way,
said,
shape,
it's
or
definitely
form.
not all
how
that,
we're
because my mom's
thinking
my
about
best
relationships.
friend.
God.
Yeah, that was mine too.
I've learned
That was mine too.
so much from her. Still
And
do.
I respect that.
Yeah.
The last thing I got to say, and the reason I cut her off again is because the reason I'm as communicative as I am, because I had someone who came to me and said, come here, sit down. Let's talk about it. No, what's going on? No, tell me what's going on. Exactly what you're saying. Which is good. To me, it was good.
Yeah.
Now, to someone else, it could be seen like, I don't want to talk again.
But see, I didn't have that, which is why I observe the way I do. Because I didn't have that, something's wrong. Like, it would be, she would acknowledge something was wrong. But as soon as I showed emotion, cut that shit. Like, so it was what you gonna do about it. She was very solution based.
Gotcha.
And so there was no space for emotions. It was, we gotta, because she had to hustle, grind, and do. So it's like, no, baby, you hustle, grind, and do. There's no, you cry on your own. You cry behind closed doors. Like, but you gotta keep going. And
But
there's
I
some
didn't
good
have
to
that
that.
either, though. But that's why I say life is a choice, and at some point in our life, blaming our parents get old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
You gotta take ownership of
it's
your own
still
shit.
your life. So
Yeah.
at some point in our lives, we gotta be like, yes, that happened. It absolutely happened.
Sure did.
You really fucked me up.
Bruh.
However, this from this day forward on, I get to determine what my life looks like. Like I said, I still have to do my own guidance. I didn't have guidance. I guided my fucking self.
Same.
How I got to where I am now, it's a choice. When I say like life is a choice, it's dead ass a choice. Do you want to be trash or do you want to be better?
I also think that you need to do this. This is what I did, and this is grain of salt. I went and talked to my father and said, listen, I don't like this. I don't like that you did this, and this.
Absolutely.
Straight up, as a man. Like, I'm an 18-year-old kid. But nonetheless, I had that conversation.
Right.
Sometimes you have to have that.
Exactly.
And then they can dial it back, and you don't think you should have those
They
conversations?
not
You
gonna
do have
receive
to
it
have
all the
those
time.
conversations.
But you can know you said it.
As an adult, you do want to ask questions. You know what I'm saying, and you want to make sure that your concerns are I won't say validated, but at least acknowledged. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what was the thought process behind this? I've had several conversations with my folks, individually, on things that they've done and how they feel like they may have impacted our lives. Because we got to remember, like, the same way that we're figuring shit out right now as adults,
absolutely.
they were too.
With less, trying to figure out shit with less.
Exactly. With less access.
Exactly.
You know, with less access. And so I have to remember, like, you know, they did what they did the best that they could with what they had. Granted, it wasn't like we struggled for anything in that sense, but
exactly.
You know, they were figuring out life the same way we were. You know, we are. So we have to kind of take that with a, like you said, grain of salt. And that kind of brings me to something that's going on with the new generation, which is the whole thing of what women bring to the table. You know, and how or what someone brings to the table.
Want me to go first?
Nope. I want people to tune in next week for the finale on this. So we'll see you on the next one. We'll wrap this thing up.